Hey, good morning, folks. I'm Live Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Consumers Energy. We've got a little bit of a spotty rain pattern coming across the southern half of the state. I'll detail that for you. You're not going to get real wet today. I'll show you where you have the most wet weather. And we're still in a pretty stormy pattern. As I see, we have Friday night, Saturday storm system lined up. We have one about Wednesday of next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, and we'll look to the 4th around there and see what we have in store right now. So let's get on into it and start off with the radar currently. And what you could see is some light showers. That's the kind of pattern that we're going to have shift into our southern parts of our area. Radar forecast will kind of bear that out. And here it is. So remember, the radar forecast is our computer models, various models will forecast what the radar should look like. We actually call it simulated reflectivity. Reflectivity, fancy word for radar. So this is future. This is fantasy land, if you will, in meteorology, but it's very accurate. In fact, I wanted to take a still of the radar yesterday morning versus what this model said it would look like the day before yesterday morning, and they were almost exact, almost just scary exact. So this is the radar forecast for this morning, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, noon. And so what it means is Grand Rapids, Saginaw, Bay City, the Thumb, Flint, Lansing, you'll get into 15-minute showers here and there, mostly fairly light. And then as we go into 3 in the afternoon, it shifts into the Ann Arbor area, all of the Detroit area, Monroe, Adrian, Coldwater, Jackson. Again, 15 minutes, half hour here and there. And by 5 o'clock, it's probably mostly done and out, with the exception of maybe a stray shower somewhere. So, a couple of hours. Matthew Myers, I am reading about a meteo tsunami on Lake Michigan. Have you ever heard of this? Yeah, that's what we've called a seiche, but most people don't know what a seiche is. So, meteorologist, again, being technical, and there's really no other way to say it, but a meteo tsunami is when a thunderstorm sends out a wind flow and a pressure difference, and it kind of bounces on the water surface and makes a big wave. Stephen Petchla, my 15-year-old, is super into meteorology. Any learning advice for him? He's ready. He's already a NWS Skywarn spotter. Math. It's a math degree. Math, physics, computer programming, coding, they call it now, when you're in high school and in college. And Central Michigan, if he wants to stay in the state, has a good meteorology program. Here's the same model, a closer look. 11 o'clock. Noon, that would say Flint's getting showers, Jackson's getting showers, Ann Arbor and Detroit probably into the showers. So first half of the afternoon looks like it's on the wet side. All right, let's get on into it. Hey, 144 strong. Good morning to you. Let me go to now. If you're just joining us for the first time ever, this is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa with the MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Consumers Energy. Now let's go to the European model that goes out. It actually goes out to after the 4th. We don't really believe the exact details 10 days out, but we like to look at the trends. So here's tomorrow, and it looks beautiful. And here's Friday. This is Friday afternoon. looks great. This is Friday, late afternoon into evening. Starts to turn stormy across the UP. Doug Gallup, cold water today, wet, 2 or 3 hours. Probably less than 1/10 of an inch, maybe less than 2/10 of an inch. Saturday going to be a washout, Catherine Eastman. I don't think it'll be a washout. A washout to me says, 6 hours of rain. Very few washouts at this time of the year, although we've been through a couple in the last week. Now this is Friday night. We start to turn stormy. This is still Friday night, early Saturday morning, and someone's asking about washout on Saturday. This would be Saturday 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., and that would be a half inch or more of rain in the southeast part of the state. Morning could be a washout. Then it would tend to dry out as we head into the afternoon. This is Sunday. Sunday looks cooler, north wind, lower humidity, drier air, comfortable. And Monday, that looks like the pick day. Light wind, full sunshine, slightly warmer than the next storm system. So we're in a very regular storm track. This is Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. A cold front comes through. Then we get to the 4th. We start to not believe the exact details, but it makes sense. If I see in the upper air, hey, Monica Hadley, I'm doing great, thank you. Hopefully you're doing well. How's the garden doing? Doing pretty good. Not as big as I'd like it because I just don't have the time anymore. But I'll get there. Mary Catherine Kennedy, Glen Arbor always looks great. Now, if you're talking about weather, it looks pretty good. I would say that it's a go. If some people, can I go off on a tangent just for a little bit? Some people look to me to help them decide if they go north for the weekend. And generally at this time of the year, it pays to go north because it's a good time. It's relaxing. It's out of your home spot. Occasionally at this time of the year, I have to say, well, if you don't want a couple of periods of rain, a lot of rainy days, you might not go north. I don't think this weekend is like that. I think we do have in any one spot probably a 3 to 6 hour burst of some showers and thunderstorms, and it's probably Friday night, early Saturday morning. Deb Burkham, hey, good morning, Deb Burkham. How are the Beagles doing? Well, we're down to one Beagle. Daisy's been gone for several years now, but Bagel is still kicking. He's 20 years old, which our vet says means that he is 100 in Beagle years. I guess it's 5 years for every year for a Beagle. All right, let's get back to it. So we think that sometime Tuesday or Wednesday there will be another cold front. Now this would be the 4th of July, and that would be very, very nice. Okay. And then we would go into Friday. Now this is 10 days out, but this would indicate a warm-up coming in the second half of the 4th of July weekend. And I kind of believe that that is the case. All right, so let's look at, oh boy, let's see. I had the temperatures for you. Okay, so real-time temperatures. Today, low 80s in the south. The clouds and showers, I don't know, that might be a little bit aggressive on temperature. How's the wind and temperature looking for Higgins Lake, Adam Hunt? Well, temps today in the 70s. Higgins Lake looks very nice, and the wind generally does not look huge over the next several days. We're also getting into a period where, as the Great Lakes warm up closer to land temperature, the winds die somewhat, but we're always windy here in Michigan. So tomorrow, in the 70s, 60s in the north. Friday, work skipper, definitely for sure. Upper 70s in a lot of places in lower Michigan. Saturday, back to, let's call it 80 or more from Higgins Lake and Big Rapids southward. Northern lower in the 70s. That was Saturday. And then Sunday, a little bit cooler on that north wind, comfortable. Monday in the mid-70s. Tuesday starting to bounce back. Wednesday right now looking very nice and summery. Again, this can change a little bit with the timing of cold fronts. This would be the 4th of July. 4th of July looks like it'd probably be in the 80s. Looks like it could be pretty good. And this would be the 5th of July, indicating that the warmth is starting to build back. But I will tell you that one thing these numerous storms do every 3 or 4 days is they knock down the heat. There is a hot dome that is trying to build at us, but as the storms come out of the Pacific, it knocks it down. Then it comes at us, knocks it down. Now, generally, as we go into July and early August, we feel this will be the case. Generally, those westerlies move northward into Canada, and the hot dome trying to come at us has a little bit more of a chance coming at us more long term. But if the westerlies still stay active, which I think they will, persistence is one of the best long-range forecasters, then it will get knocked down at times. So we'll probably start to get into some hotter weather, but with breaks and with storms and with the potential of severe thunderstorms. We are definitely into our severe thunderstorm time of year. So, showed you the temperatures. Now, this is the long-term upper airflow, and I want to show this to you. Let's see, Tim Lee, yesterday winds, a lot of power outages in Oscoda, as well as trees and limbs down. Yeah, that was what was called a wake low. After a storm comes by, sometimes the winds reverse, and the trees have been bent over one way on a typical west wind, and then all of a sudden you get this burst pushing them the other way, and the trees go down. This is the upper airflow, and we're into Friday, so see that kink? That's the storm system for Friday night, Saturday morning, and then you see the ridge build up, and that's the great weather for Monday. And then you see the next disturbance come out of the Pacific right there. That's Tuesday into Wednesday. That's why I say there's a cold front there. There's only a 3 to 6 hour stormy period in that. Now this is July 4th and 5th. And then we go to the 7th and 8th. And everything wants to show the atmosphere continues to warm. But notice we continue to be in that westerly flow. So as storm systems come by, that knocks down the heat. One last thing for you here. This is the surface temperature anomaly. So how much cooler or warmer it will be, or normal, compared to normal. And really, as we go into this weekend, we're supposed to be near normal to slightly cooler than normal. This is Sunday. Looks like a cool day. And you'll see we just kind of go between slightly warmer than normal, slightly cooler than normal. That means we're going to be operating in a range of 75 to 85 degrees in Michigan. And this is why we live here, right? We don't live here for March. Nobody lives here for March in Michigan weather. Unless you like, no way other to put it but snot falling out of the sky, along with wind, along with a spring tease back to winter. That's March. This is July 8th. This is July 9th. This is July 10th. And what it says is we're going to have some fairly warm days. We're probably not going to have a sustained hot spell until the second half of July, sustained by 3, 4, 5 days in the 90s. Nancy Salvaggio, humidity ranges. With storm systems, your humidity will build for a day as the heat builds ahead of a cold front, and then it will come back down to much lower, very refreshing, behind the cold front for a day or two. So again, anything that we have won't last for days and days. We do eventually some years get into a very stagnant same day pattern. Usually it's second half of July into August. That certainly could happen, but the westerlies have to quiet down, and the storm manufacturing machine out in the North Pacific has to quiet down before we go to, you know, something that's really significant. Hey, thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. This has been the MLive Morning Weather Update, brought to you by Consumers Energy. And have yourselves a great day. We'll talk to you again tomorrow, continuing to track storms. Take care.